to profile you as our guest this morning. I think that the entire community and the entire world know who you are. But before we get into the program to talk about your profile and to deal with some of the Olympic exploits and some of those memorances from you, let's give you an opportunity to briefly give our audience some idea of who you are and how you became involved with Tennessee State University from that perspective, and then we'll get into some of your coaching responsibilities now, and then later on your Olympic exploits.
My name is CCheeseborough. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I came to Tennessee State in 1975 as a high schooler. I was in the Tigerbelles summer program where I met Coach Temple at the Junior Olympics in 1974. No, that was the second time I met Coach Temple. The first time, Coach Temple recruited my oldest sister to come here to high jump, and she turned down the scholarship, and I told my mom that I was going to come to Tennessee State and I was going to run track, and it happened just like that in 1974.
And so you came to Tennessee State University in 1974 specifically on a track scholarship?
No, it wasn't a track scholarship. In 1975, I came at the summer program. Coach Temple had a summer program where high schoolers could come and run in the summer. Then they would go back and compete for the high school during the year. So I came on under the summer junior program.
And so you were already involved in perhaps a limited way in a track program before you met Coach Temple?
Of course, I ran in high school. I competed from 7th grade through the 12th grade in the state of Florida. I was undefeated, running track, so had a good career going on and came here to Tennessee State to finish that career out.
And so Coach Temple recognized your record, but you mentioned your sister. Now your sister evidently was more advanced in track than yourself because she was given a scholarship. Talk about that.
Well, my oldest sister was a senior in 1970. I was just in the 6th grade then, and she was a high jumper. She was the state champion in Florida, and Coach Temple heard about her, and he wanted her to be a part of his program. She came up to the summer program, but she decided that it was a little too far for her, so she returned home.
And then he heard about her sister.
Well, a couple of years later, I came along, and he saw me run at the Junior Olympics, and he approached me and my mother and asked, could we come up to the summer program, and that's where it took off from.
Now, who invited you to become a member of the Tigerbelles? Was Coach Temple the person in charge of the Tigerbelles at this time?
Yes, he was. Coach Temple approached us again, and he remembered us from 1970 because his wife had some relatives in Jacksonville also, and the opportunity was there, and I took the opportunity, and I don't regret it at all.
Now, I know all of a sudden you just didn't come to Tennessee State University and then go to the Olympics and win all those medals and et cetera. How did all of that develop? I mean,
well, it almost worked like that. I was very talented as a youngster in high school, and in 1976, where I made my first Olympic team, I was with the Tennessee State Tigerbelles. I did not medal in 1976, but I made it to the 100-meter finals as a high schooler. So I didn't win all my medals there, but I did make the Olympic team as a junior in high school.
Now, what did it mean for you to be a junior in high school, to medal, and then the sort of worldwide fame that that almost accompanied that? How did you react to all of that?
Well, I was a kid that just kind of really didn't let success, overtake me. So I did the normal things as high schoolers do. I was excited because I had an opportunity to travel somewhere I'd never been. We went to Montreal, Canada, where I competed in Canada, and it was a great experience for me.
And of course, all of this time, as being a member of the Olympics, you were not a single runner, but you were a member of the Tigerbelles, and there was various components and et cetera. Talk about some of the parent and that kind of information for our audience.
Well, I need to go back a little because I met Coach Temple in '74. In 1975, he took me to the Pan American Games, where he was a Pan American coach, and I won a gold 2 gold medals out of the Pan American game with him being the coach. The first gold was in the 200 meters, then the other gold came in the 4x1 relay. So that made me a part of Tennessee State summer program from there. And then the following year we went on to the Olympics. But coming to Tennessee State was exciting for me, and I was a great basketball player in high school. But what happened, no one gave me any track scholarships because they automatically assumed that I was coming to Tennessee State. I had more basketball scholarships than track scholarships. Yeah, so I guess they thought that connection with Coach Temple, you know, it was like they're wasting their time to recruit me, but they were. So anyway, coming here and meeting the other young ladies, you know, it was just like a big family. They took me in. I can remember Wilma Rudolph coming back on campus and meeting Wilma, and that just did something to me. I wanted to be a Tigerbelle. So from that point on, I wanted to be like Wilma Rudolph. And I guess Coach Temple gave me that opportunity to go on and be successful in track and field.
Well, how many times did you go to the Olympics?
Well, I made the 1976 Olympic team. In 1980, I made the team, but they boycotted. And then again, I went back in 1984.
Well, what was it in terms of making a decision that you wanted to go to the Olympics? I mean, what kind of training regime and what kind of mind thing did you go through and that you were involved in order to do something like that?
First of all, you're going to have a will to win and a desire. And I think that comes from within. If those things are not in place, you can easily give up on your dream. But knowing that I was a talented athlete and things were going really good for me, I won the Pan American Games, made the 76 Olympic team. That desire within me wanted to go to the next level of competition. So after the 80 team, after they boycotted, I wanted to hang around and see if I had a chance to win a medal, which I did. I won 2 golds and a silver. So winning is within. Either you have a heart to win or you don't, you know. People can tell you that you're good and they can see the talent there, but if you don't realize that the talent is there, it's nothing.
It's desire.
Yes.
It is all a great desire.
It's
that
a great desire,
yes,
yes.
And of course, would you say that this is not only true in reference to personal efforts, but in reference to team efforts as well? Would that be a part of it?
I would say team efforts and just life. You know, in doing anything, it doesn't have to be track. But if you desire to do something and you have that love and that passion for it, you can do anything. Yeah.
And of course, that would be true, as you indicated, not only for a person who's involved in track, but that's one of the life's great mysteries in terms of what makes some folks successful and what makes some folks unsuccessful, even though the folks who might not be successful have as much talent in a real sense.
You know, I believe that some people just go after their dreams more than others. And some people think about their dreams, you know, and they wish they could have done their dreams. But the one that really pursue them, that's the one that's going to succeed.
Very good. And of course, I think, Coach, this is exactly the kind of information that we want. And we're going to have our first commercial break here very, very soon, after which we'll come back and we'll have about 8 minutes that we want you to sort of talk about the other relationships in terms of the Olympics and some of the other things, dealing with some of the things that you met in your experiences that you'd like to share with us this morning. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Ms. Chandra Cheeseborough, who is the senior coach for the women's track team at Tennessee State University, the Tigerbelles. And of course, Coach Cheeseborough, let me give you an opportunity to, again, talk about some of the things that can serve as your profile, because that's what we're trying to do, is to give the audience, this immediate audience in a real sense, an opportunity to know you better, because I think they already know you by reputation, you see, and I think that we want to try to sort of expand that. Let's have you during the second segment to talk about the Olympics and talk about some of your remembrances and some of the things that you think our audience would like to hear.
I think some great memories that I can remember in 1976, Brenda Moorhead and Kathy McMillan, all of these are graduates of Tennessee State. They were Tigerbelles. Coach Temple was not there, and one funny moment I can remember, we were excited about being in Montreal, and they had a lot of activities for us, and we were still afraid of Coach Temple, and he was 1,000 miles away, you know, but he had that impression on us that we respected our coach, and what our coach said, we did. So one night we were out, and we were at the disco, you know, not really prepared for the running, but we were out there dancing and having a good time, exactly. But one of the managers called Coach Temple on the telephone, and he had us on the telephone, and he was telling us, oh, I sent you over there to do this, this, and that, and we were so scared over the telephone. That was just so funny to me, because we respected him that much that just a telephone call would do what it needed to be done, and we got back on track, and we were focused, and we went back and ran well at the Montreal Olympics.
And so Coach Temple has had a tremendous impact on all of you as Tigerbelles and as human beings. As a matter of fact, we've had several opportunities to talk to Coach Temple about the Olympic tradition at Tennessee State University, and it seems that he was a very, very unusual kind of individual, an unusual